ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ, ਹਰਿਯੰ ਕਰਿਯੰ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ, ਹਰਿਯੰ ਕਰਿਯੰ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ, according to Maharaj's ਕਿਰਪਾ, we are going to start the adhyay ਪੰਜਵਾਂ, the fifth one of Vichar Mala. So in this adhyay, the Sikh is saying to his Vidya Guru, and the Sikh is calling his Vidya Guru as Bhagwan. The Sikh says to his Vidya Guru, "Hey Bhagwan, because of your kirpa, I have understood the Gyan, the wisdom, that what are the methods to obtain this wisdom. I have understood the methods that you have explained, how to practice this wisdom and to attain Brahm Gyan." Now, it is important to understand here that how the Sikh is addressing his Vidya Guru as Bhagwan. And this is an important step where to understand that the wisdom of Brahma Gyan, the wisdom of Akal Purakh, it resides in the Hirday, in that Hirday, in that heart, in the one of that Sikh who does not see any difference between Ishwar, Naam, and Gurdev. So it is important to have no difference in the intellect, that the Paramatma, the Naam, and the Vidya Guru are separate. One should always see all three as one. So Vidya Guru is Roop of Naam itself. And same way in here, Sikh is seeing his Vidya Guru as that form. So what happens when we see even the Vidya Guru as Naam and Ishwar is that the difference between the intellect is removed. So it is important in order for the wisdom to reside in the Hirday to see all these three as one. So Sikh says to his Vidya Guru that you have explained the ways how to practice the Gyan. However, I'm still in so much doubt here that I'm still experiencing, or my understanding is that the sansar, the world is different, and Atma is a different thing. I'm still experiencing or seeing the world as separate thing and Atma to be separate. But Maharaj, you have said that everything is Atam Sarup. Sab Gobind hai, Gobind bin nahi koi. So I'm still in so much doubt here. So next, Guru is saying to the Sikh. Guru addresses the Sikh as in, he says, Aho putra kije nahi. Guru is addressing his Sikh as with the Pavana of as a son. Now, because the Guru, the Vidya Guru, has so much love for the Sikh as well, And the Guru is already apayed in Paramatma. The Guru does not see any difference between himself and the Sikh. So the Guru is addressing the Sikh as through the worldly relationship to give that gyan. Just like how a father would call his son, if a son approaches the father and asks about any worries of the world or anything, the father will explain in a loving manner. Same way, Vidya Guru is the father, is the mother. The Vidya Guru becomes the best friend. The Vidya Guru becomes sister, the brother. So that worldly relationship is there so that in that prem, the Vidya Guru can explain, make the Sikh understand the wisdom. So in that prem, Guru is saying that don't have this duality, this param in you. Kaha jagat hai? So Guru is saying to the Sikh that even to see world, the sansar as separate to Atma is nothing else but your own param in the mind. There is still duality there, and it's an illusion. It's a vahm. It's a param. That's why you still see Jagat and Atma as separate. So Guru explains that Rag Dvaik Man ke Taram. The very nature of mind is to love one thing and to dislike another. That's the very nature of mind. But you are not the mind. Tu to man nahi hoye. So Guru in Prem says to the Sikh that this is the very nature of mind to to love one thing and to have a dislike for another thing. But you are not the mind. Understand this. That's why in Gurbani as well, Maharaj says, Man tu jot saroop hai, apna mool pehchan. That you are the jot saroop, you are the awareness, you're not the mind itself. So, first of all, understand this. Next, Maharaj says, your saroop, who you actually are, the awareness, that there is no change in it. It's always still and it doesn't change in any way. That is your sarup. So first of all, understand this, that any form of imagination, any form of thought, whether it's good or bad, it's not who you are. Even if there is avidya, there is a lack of wisdom right now in the mind, that's not who you are. Because your real form as the akal, it's detached from everything. It never gets attached to anything. So no, this is your real form. And you're that Satta Sarup, Sukh, that Anand, that there is no Dukh or Sukh in that form. So Maharaj says, Jagato main, tu Jagat main. You are in the world, and the world is within you. So by practicing this, let go of that ahankar as well. So let's understand how the ahankar is formed. When we think that we are this body, we are this mind, we are this intellect, we naturally think another person to be that body as separate to us. But when we understand who we are as that awareness, that consciousness that's always present, when we truly understand and experience that's my real sarup, there the ahankar drops. Because the same sarup is in everywhere. That same consciousness, awareness, Satchit Anand is everywhere, just like how the thread in a mala is holding on to all the beads. That thread is not separate to in one bead to the another. So as we know, it's one thread that has formed the whole mala. Same way, Guru is saying, let go of that ahankar and know that you, as that consciousness, is present in this body as well. The same is present outside the body as well. And so is it's present in everyone, everywhere. So let go of that ahankar that you are separate to anyone else. See yourself, your true Sarup in everyone around you. मैं मेरी sankalp means to have a thought and to label it as mine. A thought appears and somehow the ahankar labels it as mine. So Guru is saying let go of that thought even that this is you, the body is you, and the mind is you as well. And live in the detachment. Whatever happens according to the pralabdha, whatever is going to happen, live in this ananda, in this peaceful state of who you are while you're present in this planet. So, agyan, neend, supno, jagat. So, Maharaj says, what happens when we are having a dream? When we are awake, we are experiencing the world from the filter of the mind and the intellect. But when we go into the sleep and we have dreams, we experience dukh and sukh in the dream. Sometimes we have good dreams, sometimes we have negative dreams, or what we call nightmares or terrors. So when we wake up from the dream, we know it was a dream. And then we feel a bit of relief that that was a dream, that's not the truth. Gyan peo jagyo. So Maharaj says when the gyan happens, when you wake up from the dream, you realize for literally 5 minutes you do vichar that thank God that was just a dream. If it was a bad dream, then we obviously feel good that it was just a dream. But if it was a good dream, then we want to continue that. But when we wake up from the sleep, we realize it was just a dream. Same way Maharaj says, that's how when, with the help of the Gyan, when you wake up from this parama, this duality, that Jagat is something else, I'm something else, all this, when you wake up, what we call the enlightenment or spiritual awakening, then everything is seen as just one Paramatma doing it all. Then there is no dukh or sukh in that. Whatever we see, we know that it's like that dream as well. So Maharaj give Udaharan that Bhagat Ravi Das ji says that there was a king who had a dream that he has become a beggar in the sleep. And in that sleep, he's obviously stressed out because he's a beggar. And when he wakes up, he struggles to understand what is the truth because the dream was so real that when he actually woke up from the sleep, he thought that which one was the truth. Was I am I a beggar or am I the king? Because I don't know which one was truth. If I'm the king, where did that beggar come from then? And that's the illusion. That's the param of the mind creating all these different scenarios. But when we know who we are as the awareness, we let go of all the experience that's happening in this consciousness. We know that it's just another experience. Shuddha Pyasa. Yeah, so Guru is saying now that let's understand what's happening in the body. Let's understand how the body and the mind works. The hunger that you feel and that thirst that you feel, this is the nature of the fire in the body, the five elements, the fire, air, earth, and so on. So the hunger that we feel is because of the fire. So you're not feeling hungry, it's the fire that's having that. That's the taram of fire. The very nature of fire is hunger. And the thirst, that when we feel thirsty, that's the air element in us. So the air element is causing that thirst. The happiness and sadness are the taram of mind. So that's why the all the stresses, worries of the world, everything is only happening at the mind level. Beyond that, there is no dukh sukh whatsoever. And the very nature of mind is that, the taram. Sometimes the mind feels happy, and then next moment it experiences sadness. So all that is happening at the mind level. And what is the nature of this physical body? The very nature of it, it's going to take form, which we call as birth. The body is going to form and then it's going to end. Because this is formed from the five elements, and five elements are in the kal, in the time loop. So when the time comes, the body is going to get destroyed as well. So Maharaj says these are the six taram that you have understood. Atam Rahata Anant. However, the Atma, the Paramatma, the Satchit Ananda Sarup, it is Anant. It's beyond all these forms as well. And it's beyond any of the vikars as well. No amount of kam, krodh, lobh, moh, ahankar reaches it. So to understand that Sat Sarup and to experience in that way, that there is an awareness in you that is always present, that's never changing with time, that was there when the body was a child, when the body is a teenager, when the body is an adult. So there is no change happening in that. So Maharaj says this is your sarup, and now you know what your real sarup is not. So practice in this way. Dohra janam asat ar brid punna. Hmm. Hmm. टिके रहना पुण्य फेर. Yeah. So Maharaj is giving example that let's take an example of how the body is formed. First, we take birth, then there is the childhood, and then comes the teenage. From there, then one reaches the adulthood, and then the old age. And after that, the destruction, the moth, the death that we call, that happens. So, khat bikar yeh de ke atam swam prakas. So these are the six dosh, the qualities of the stool, the physical body. These are the qualities. But the atma, the consciousness, the awareness, it's neither born nor it gets destroyed. It's giving awareness to itself. It doesn't need another source to give awareness. The very nature of atma is the awareness. That's why it's called Chetana. Chetan means that's what which is aware all the time. And this is always present through all the stages of life. And in Jagrat Avastha, when we are awake, when we are dreaming, when we are in deep sleep, this awareness is always present. So Maharaj says this is your real Sarup. चिदाकाश अभेद अमल शांत एक तव रूप जो tera sarup. So Maharaj says now we know, let's say there is a pot, and the pot, the space element, the akash, the space element that's present in the pot, is that space different to the space that is outside the pot? There is no difference between that space element. It is exactly the same formation outside the pot and in the pot as well. Now, let's say when the pot is destroyed, does it mean that the space element somehow gets mixed with the outer space element, or does it stay as it is? Same way, Maharaj says that the Atma is so sukham, it's so subtle. Now, as we know, the space element is such a subtle form. We can't even see space. So Maharaj is saying that the Atma is so subtle that even the space is like a mountain in front of the Atma. That's how Sukham the Atma is. And that Sarup of yours is beyond all the attachments of the world, beyond all the attachments of the thoughts, beyond all the intellect, everything. And Janama Marana Kit Sambhave. So, how is that the very concept of birth and death is only happening at the level of body and the mind? Because we think we don't know, because we don't know what our real home is, we think that we die. But the truth is, it's the body, which is formed of the five elements. They are just going back to the five elements. And the Atma, the awareness in us, it just remains as it is because it's present everywhere. So you're not really dying as well. You're not even taking birth. But because of Param, because of Agyanta, now we don't talk about this stuff. It's not even taught in school. It's not taught in any form of universities. And somehow we think Paramatma is so away from us that we need to have this different thing on our lifestyle so we can impress this Paramatma. But the truth is, it is the very nature of who you are. So when we read this wisdom, when we practice this wisdom, and when we experience it, we realize that what really dies. Even in Gurbani, Maharaj says, Pavan mein pavan samaya, like who, kaun mua? Maharaj says, who raised this question? See, Maharaj is constantly asking us to think about this. Think about, because as humans, we have the power, we have the capacity to do this abhyas. So Maharaj is saying, question this, that who is really dying here? Is death even a thing? Or is it a param of mind that something has died? So that's why Maharaj is saying this is all linked to the body, all um, the physical structure. ਵਿਖੇ ਭੋਗਤ ਆਸਥਾਨ ਤਨ ਜੋ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਹਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭੋਗਣ ਅਸਥਾਨ ਥਾਂ ਭਾਵ ਸਥੂਲ ਤਨ ਸਰੀਰ. Yeah. So Maharaj says, whatever the experience, the desires that you're having and the pleasures you are experiencing it through the senses, through the Gyan Indriya, through your ears, through your nose, through your touch, everything, that's happening because of the power of mind, because of there is desire in it. So this happens because the buddhi, the intellect, gives upadesh to man, and then mind experiences that. But when we eat something, that food is just merging into the body. That's why it's often said that we are what we eat, because the food that we consume makes the body. It forms the cell. And from that cell, the further organs are formed as well. So Maharaj says this is happening all because that there is a desire of experiencing something, and the buddhi, the intellect, gives instruction to the mind, and then the mind runs towards that thing, and this is constantly a process happening. Tu na tushta hoy, and you are neither of these. You're not the man, you're not the buddhi, you're not the ahankar, you're not the chit. This is a constant thing that's happening within this body. And you are not that. You need to understand this. Maharaj is being very direct here that this is who you are. You're not even buddhi. You're not even man. Karana ling. So, because of agyanta, because the jeev doesn't know his true truth, so what happens is the jeev is thinking, believing, accepting that he is all these indriya, all these vikar. The Panj Pran is that the Pran Vayu that's going, flowing within the body, and based on what, wherever location it is flowing, the different names are given. So Maharaj is saying all these are these forms Sukam Sthul. The physical body is formed because of all these three things. And now we know that the five elements create the physical body, and the Indriyan, the Man, Chit, Buddha, Ahankar, the Pran, all these, this form the subtle body. And Maharaj is saying, "E jad tohe lahe nahi, tu chetan praman," that these all are jad. So jad means that which can't move on its own. Now, what is this energy? What is this thing that's moving this body? Maharaj is saying, "Tu chetan praman." Hmm. Mara is saying that accept yourself that you are that awareness. You are this Chetan. You're not this the Jad Vastu. These things are happening because of your power, your Atma's energy. It's like using a computer and not realizing that the computer is functioning because of the electricity. If there was no electricity, the computer wouldn't function. And the computer imagined doing ahankar that look at me, I'm just doing all these things, and then I have great programs in me. It's the same way, if there was no electricity, the computer wouldn't function. Same way Maharaj is saying, these all things are functioning because of the Chetan Sarup, the consciousness. And accept this. Dohra. एक तंत में त्रिगुणता अर्ज ग्रंथ बहु पाए तैसे शुद्ध स्वरूप में नाथ जगत दर्शाए. Maharaj says now what's happening, how the world is actually formed. Let's take an example of a thread. So like yellow, blue, green. So let's say there are three threads, and we entangle, we twist these three threads with among each other, and we form this kind of structure of these three threads. And because of these three qualities, these three threads, they represent Sato, Rajo, Tamo Gun. So these are the three qualities how Paramatma operates the world, or how Paramatma, taking these forms, create this sansar. So Maharaj says, when we see at the threads, even if they are of different qualities, at the end of the day, they are thread. So it's like the cloth, a piece of cloth. Even if it looks like a piece of cloth, at the end it's made from cotton. So the cotton element is same. So which takes another form. Same way, gold, the very basic tat of gold, the jewelry is gold. So even if that different jewelry is formed from the gold, even if it's necklace or bracelet, whatever, the very nature is gold. Same way, Paramatma in these three guna, it appears different. And this jagat is formed. Somewhere it's taking a form of a male body, somewhere it's taking a form of a female body, somewhere in animal form, all that. But these three gun are constantly working in that way. तैसे शुद्ध स्वरूप में. So Anath Kaviji is saying, Tere Sarud, same way in your like the through the analogy of thread, same way in your real Sarup, in your Chetana consciousness, all these things are happening. Now they are happening because you are that awareness that's present there because of the Shakti of that Atma that we call as consciousness. And in that form, the three qualities are happening. So nor you are these qualities. That's why the Chotha Pad, the observer is there because that is the nature of Atma. So Maharaj says, Khalik, Khalak, Khalak mein Khalik, Pura Rahyo Sarab Thai. So because all these are happening because of Atma, and when you practice this wisdom, then you will understand that is Atma only in the Jagat too. So you won't see the difference between Atma as separate or the Jagat as separate because you would know then the understanding that actually it is Atma only who has taken, because of the Shakti of Atma, the different forms has been created. So you can't even say that the Nirgun is different to Sargun. Then it is all one. Then Sargun is Paramatma too, Nirgun is Paramatma as well. And there will be no Maya left because Maya can only reach up to the level of intellect. And when the intellect with Guru Kirpa, with the Kirpa of the Gyan, when the intellect understands, and when intellect, the Man understands the Jot Sarup, then the intellect becomes, it's called Vivek Buddhi. Then the intellect will see Paramatma everywhere. The intellect will see, you will see your own Sarup everywhere. There will be no separate identity, even Paramatma. It will be all awareness, all the khel will be visible there, that how it's happening. So Maharaj Kirpa, we will take pause here. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Sri Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.